The perks of having high fence rep over 6 are actually crazy for when you do decide to either play your SCAV or if you want to test out some things on PVE, as well as unlocking, of course, the traders or the max kind of fence rep where you can actually get access to some of the better keys. Now, if leveling up your SCAV sounds insanely good, please do think about dropping a like on this video. It is the best thing that can do to help out my channel, and it is amazing when you guys show your support. So let's jump in. The top tier 6.0 fence rep kind of store that you can get a wide variety of armors that can often contain some higher level plates that you can't just buy. So it is really important to actually level up your fence rep. But why this video is actually quite good is because of the fact that there is a new method to level up your fence rep, and it is crazy fast. I mean, like, you can get probably 0.5 per hour, which is actually very high considering that you are looking at, you know, when you're doing car extracts at the very beginning, when you have the maximum amount of fence rep that you can get from your car extracts, which I believe is like 0.2 for your first ever car extract, something in that region. I can't quite remember. It's been a long time. I apologize. But essentially, this is the new fastest way to level up your fence rep, and it's continuous, doesn't rely on any degrading amount of kind of fence rep that you get every single time you do it. You should still do your car extracts, and in fact, it's a really great way of leveling up when you're just playing on your PMC. But if you want to boost up your fence rep to the maximum and get the most, then this is what I've been doing. So first things first, of course, the benefits of fence rep: you get this whole store, you get everything access to that store. So you can see this is the normal fence rep store, so you get a wide variety of just trash, basically, nothing particularly too interesting, and a lot of it is just garbage that you don't want. The top tier one refreshes every now and again. You can get marked room keys in this, and they're actually sold for just above their discard value because it's a fence rep store. But of course, those marked room keys are worth like 20 million on the actual flea market compared to their discard price, which is like 1.2 million, I believe, is what you buy them for roughly from fence. So you could make like 20 million off of one key. So it's really good method to make a bit of money when you're kind of not focusing on bits and bobs. So we've done a video all about the kind of fence rep bonuses and why PvE fence is actually one of the best things to buy, and it's probably even more imperative to get that leveled up to 6.00. So you get access to this because of the fact you can buy those armor. All you have to do is just make sure that you're here when the store actually refreshes. But in terms of getting your fence rep, how do you do it? Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to jump onto streets. So streets, you might be thinking, why streets? Surely it's a long-term map. It's going to take you time. It's going to be quite long, and you're not going to get that many raids done per hour. The difference is that this is actually insanely good because now PMCs will give you fence rep. And because it's on the servers, in terms of the BSG servers, you haven't got that problem with potentially any issues coming around via, you know, being on a solo server that's, you know, based on your own kind of hosted server. There's been some issues. Not entirely sure if it is completely the same on all of the different maps. I believe it is. It's just a case of whether or not there's any bugs or stuff like that, which I'm sure there are, because we all know what Tarkov is like at the minute. It's just basically bug heaven at the moment, especially for PvE. A lot of them have not been fixed yet. But streets is why we're going on there, and the reason for that is because of the fact that the AI and the scavs in your game will interact now. So they will actually fight each other, and because it's such a big map, a lot of the time you're finding a lot of PMCs that are fighting with scavs themselves, which does now award you that fence rep. So when they take out a scav, for example, if they take out 2 scavs, 3 scavs, 4 scavs, you will get scav assistance rep at the end of your raid, which essentially just gives you that extra bit of fence rep, and it's by a huge amount, by the way. Like, I was getting about 0.1 0.1 to about 0.2 in my raids. The more PMCs you find and take out that have taken out scavs, the better, the more you're going to get. It is insanely good, and I don't know if BSG are going to go ahead and try and nerf it like they do with absolutely everything in this game for some reason, just really trying to make it just horrible for everyone. But considering that it's still going to take you probably like 12 hours of doing this in order to actually fully max out your fence rep, if you're going from 0 to 6, it's still a long time to actually just max out one trader in terms of like just doing the same routes, the same thing. So I don't think it needs a nerf, and if BSG do, then that is just a kick in the teeth completely. But in terms of how it actually works, it's the same as PvP. If you take out a PMC that's actually, you know, taken out scavs, then you're going to get that scav bonus, and you're going to get it at the end of the raid. Alongside, if you do successfully extract, you'll get 0.01. The great thing about this is you don't actually have to survive, so even if you do get taken out by a group of PMCs, maybe you can't take them all out, maybe you ended up with like a terrible weapon or something like that. So yeah, it doesn't really matter, it's not about that. And the other great thing about actually going through on streets is making sure that you're going to Lexos. Lexos is where the PMCs will kind of go to, because of the fact that with the latest AI changes that we have in Escape from Tarkov's PvE mode, PvE AI will start off in one location. They'll spawn like any other player would in the game, and then they move to a high value loot location. Now these are typically by Lexos or the surrounding kind of courtyards around Lexos. So the courtyards is also a great way to kind of find people, so where you would go to pick up the relaxation room key. And if you don't already know, that is another great money maker to add to this run. So if you're after making a ton of money as well as actually leveling up your scav rep, then I don't see a better option for you at all. And all you need is just to make sure that you take out the PMCs, and they're not too difficult. And most of the time what you can do, if you have a higher scav rep, so if you do have 6.0 or above, you might not want to do this, but if you do, then you can call over scavs. And even if you don't have 6 scav rep, you can still call over scavs. They just might not always come to you, and certainly not all of them will come to you. Whereas when you do have 6 scav rep, you can double tap Y and then call for help, and they'll come and actually try and support you. And often you can send in those scavs to the PMCs. The PMCs will take out the scavs that you have as like friendlies, and then you can get even more scav rep. So it's something I've been doing, testing out, and it works really, really well. Like, I have not yet seen like a 0.3 standing change from fence rep from taking out like a ton of PMCs, but I'm sure on the upper limit, if you do get lucky and there is a ton of PMCs that are around the areas, or you find them before they extract, then this is going to be really, really, really good. And so I highly recommend doing this. It's one of the best ways to level up your fence rep. And I think if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like it. And of course, that's it. Pretty simple, straightforward. Streets, Lexos, take the courtyard areas nearby, go to the relaxation room key location, where you can go inside like the offices, and that is pretty much all you need to do. You can go open relaxation if you want, and then all you have to do is, you know, if you want to add on some extra rep, just survive the raid if you want to make money as well. So that is just the way. And so it's been really amazing to me, so I thought I'd share it to you, and I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.
Заебись, удачно зашли!